Hello and welcome to another weekend. Welcome to Weekend Review on Trust Television, where we take a look at some of the top stories from our bulletin in the previous week. I am Martia Umar. So the week started with drums of celebration as it was the new year. So permit me to say Happy New Year. I wish you a prosperous 2023. So it was a new year, 2023, of course. So I would like to say that a lot of things have happened since the new year started. And one of the big events that has happened since the year started was on New Year's Day. It was the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, counseling Nigerian mothers to adopt exclusive breastfeeding among other healthy practices to ensure proper care for their newborn babies. The president's wife gave the advice while welcoming the FCT's first baby of 2023 on Sunday. Dana Daniels was there and she reports.
As the drums of celebrations rolled into the new year, the wife of the president leads an entourage to the maternity ward of the Kubwa General Hospital, located 31 kilometers from the city's center, to welcome the first baby of the year in the Federal Capital Territory. Baby Chime Mecca Testimony Uchenna, born to the family of Mr. and Mrs. Victor Uchenna at 12:03 a.m. on New Year's Day, weighs 3.2 kg. Welcoming the baby among other children born on New Year's Day within the FCT is the representative of the president's wife and senior special assistant to the president on administration and women affairs, Dr. Rukaiya Gunrin. Presented gift items to the babies, including postnatal care products, nutritional supplies, and cash. The president's wife stressed the importance of pre- and postnatal care.
I would therefore like to urge all mothers across the country to take adequate care of their babies and ensure that they are all properly immunized as at when due. It is very important to mention that exclusive breastfeeding is important. I would like to encourage mothers strictly to do so during the first 6 months of delivery.
Organizers of the event, Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, appreciated the president's wife for her motherly role and generosity in championing the cause of women and children in the country.
She believes that if you take care of the children, you are taking care of the nation. Not in the future, even at the moment. Because if you have healthy children, you have a healthy nation.
Children are a gift from God, and celebrating them in a wonderful way like this is actually a very special thing to all of us.
Parents of baby Testimony are delighted with the gifts, but are also thankful for the privilege of seeing a new year.
It's happening to me for the first time, and I can say that the feeling is out of this world.
God works with the way He wants to work, and it is something I didn't thought of. I was just coming to have my baby, and my message is, whenever you're pregnant, just be hopeful and also give God thanks for that privilege.
The First Lady's entourage went round the ward sharing gifts and goodwill to other patients in the ward, as well as give donations to the hospital. For those people, this year has started on a good note. Hopefully, the smiles and optimism will stay this way for the rest of the year. Dana Daniel, Ziggy, Trust TV News.
So January is the first month of the year, of course. And in Western countries, it is usually considered the second month of winter and the coldest, while in Nigeria, it is the coldest month in Harmattan and the transitory period to the hottest season. And most people consider January the longest month in a year, particularly because of monetary choices and the number of bills which must be settled as the new year rolls in. In this report, Noah Sampson examines the mystery behind the month of January.
January is named after the Roman god Janus, known as the protector of gates and doorways, that symbolizes beginnings and endings. Janus is depicted with two faces, one looking into the past, the other with the ability to see into the future. However, the man on the street is not concerned with myth. To him, the mystery attached to January is related to money and how very quickly it runs out in the first month.
Concept first, and then the second is the hunger to celebrate December in a special way. I know that all moments are not the same, all seasons are not the same. But when you have it that in December we must kill ourselves, January eventually must be very, very long.
Me, I be businesswoman. So salary for January, I do not like to sell market. People know to buy our market.
What is the reason behind the January mystery? Is it a mystery at all or just common sense?
Based on the fact that people do not plan well, because everything boils down to planning. As it stands now, a lot of people have traveled and have done a lot of expenses. And when they come back, they are going to face school fees for their children. Some have their house rent to be due, more so utility bills.
So everything you have, you spent them all in December. And just maybe if you're a Christian, 25th and then 31st. Just that 2 days. Everything you have gathered for the whole year, you spent it.
Well, I think the mystery behind it is, usually most of our people, like I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria, during festive period, especially Christmas, we travel home and we do a lot of expenses. And whenever we come back to the city, we find out that the money you're supposed to save for a January spending, you've almost spent it on maybe frivolous things.
People have attributed lack of proper planning and excessive spending during Christmas and New Year celebrations as part of the mystery behind the January phenomenon. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now we move to Imo State, where the governor during the week, Hope Uzodinma, met President Muhammadu Buhari behind closed doors at the presidential villa, where both men deliberated on critical infrastructure that would boost security in the state. The visit is coming barely a few hours after a former governor of SouthEast State, Ikedio Hakim, escaped an assassination attempt in Mbano. The attack led to the death of 4 police officers who were in the convoy of the ex-governor. Tuesday's meeting afforded Uzodinma an opportunity to secure presidential approval for advanced security surveillance equipment for the state.
The second working day in the new year, and the Imo State governor is on the corridors of State House at Abuja again to meet with President Buhari. The various incidents of insecurity in Imo State has made the Imo State governor a frequent visitor to the presidential villa, and these visits have, by his admission, yielded results.
The approval to convert Federal Medical Center Owerri to a university teaching hospital for the Federal University of Technology. The approval that converted College of Avanico College of Education to a Federal University of Education. Only 2 weeks ago, Igbos that came home from Lagos and outside Southeast enjoyed the benefits of the second Niger Bridge, something that is worthy of commendation.
But security seems to elude Imo State despite efforts by the governor due to the activities of armed gangs that have terrorized communities in the southeastern state. Only on Tuesday, former governor of the state, Ikedio Hakim, narrowly escaped assassination. But 4 policemen in his convoy were not so lucky and paid the supreme price. Governor Uzodinma's meeting with the president has yielded more approvals to tighten security.
Any moment from now, we will be getting some surveillance equipments and some modern technologies that will help us manage security so that we can fight crime with little or no collateral damage.
Imo State has enjoyed tremendous support from the presidency following the Supreme Court verdict that brought Governor Uzodinma into office. But the security challenges suffered by the state seem to overshadow all, despite the spirited efforts of the governor to bring things under control. And though his people are not blaming him, his words on the matter speaks volumes. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amudu, Trust TV News.
A committee inaugurated by the chairman of Tudunwada Local Government Council in Kano State, Ahmed Tijani Matata, has discovered 130 hospitals and pharmacies operated by fake doctors in the area. The committee, during its investigation, found that only one of the fake doctors had a secondary school certificate, while one of them was an electrical engineer who owned an 8-bed hospital that claimed to treat different illnesses. The chairman of the committee, Abubakar Musa Karafe, said that the worst part was how one of the fake doctors infused HIV-positive blood in a woman who attended his clinic for treatment of malaria. He said that the investigation followed a series of complaints received from the resident over the proliferation of private hospitals and pharmacies in the various villages. According to committee chairman, most of them were from Kagoro in Kaduna State, who came to Kano and posed as doctors. He said that they would take the proper action against them and ensure that they face the wrath of the law. And in Zamfara State, the police in the state have rescued 15 kidnapped victims from the hands of suspected terrorists. And the command's public relations officer, Muhammad Shehu, who briefed journalists on the operation, said that the rescued victims were abducted by suspected terrorists along Yankara-Gusau Road into the forest. The report.
The 15 abducted victims comprised 7 women, 6 men and 2 children. The public relations officer of Zamfara State Police Command, Muhammad Shehu, told journalists that on the 1st of January 2023, the police received a report of abduction of some commuters along Tsafe-Gusau Road.
Commissioner of Police CP Kolo Yusuf mobilized police tactical operatives and deployed them along the road to complement the ongoing search and rescue operations embarked upon by the joint police, military and vigilante. Following an extensive search and rescue operation, the Kaskram bandits abandoned the kidnapped victims and fled further into the forest for their own safety. Unluckily enough, the police operatives, the joint police operatives on search and rescue operations successfully rescued the 15 kidnapped victims, held and hearty, and brought them here at the police command headquarters. So, to use this opportunity to appeal to members of the public to continue to support the police, continue to collaborate with the police by giving the police credible and timely information on activities of this criminal, so that the police can plan very well and on time to ensure that we rid Zamfara of all acts of criminal activity.
Shehu said the victims were medically checked at the police clinic, debriefed the police detectives and thereafter reunited with their families. The Commissioner of Police, Kolo Yusuf, congratulated the rescued victims for regaining freedom. He assured of continuous commitment to sustain the ongoing search operation to rescue the remaining abducted victims who are still in captivity.
The Department of State Services DSS says it has arrested the mastermind of the vehicle-borne improvised explosive device that was attacked, which occurred on 29 December 2022 near the palace of the Oyinoyi of Ebiraland in Okene, Kogi State. And during the visit of the President's Commission, some projects, the service, in a statement by the Public Relations Officer Peter Afunayan, said it arrested Abdulmumin Ibrahim Otaru and one of his associates, Saidu Suleiman, on the 3rd of January 2023. Otaru, who sustained a gunshot injury on his left foot while attempting to escape, is currently receiving treatment at a health facility. The statement added that during investigation, it was ascertained that Otaru was a high commander of Islamic State West African Province ISWAP and either coordinated or was involved in the 24th June 2022 attack on the Police Area Command, Eka Eizenyi, Oke local government area of Kogi State, and the 5th of July 2022 attack on Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center in Kuje Area Council of the FCT, and the 5th August 2022 attack on West African Ceramics Limited in Ajukuta local government area of Kogi State. The service reiterated its commitment to the safety of the nation and assured of working with stakeholders, including sister security agencies, to tackle the menace of terrorism and other forms of criminality and threats to national security. And you're watching Week in Review on Trust TV. More stories after the break. To stay with us.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. This is still Week in Review on Trust Television. And moving on, the dethronement of Bello Kerfi as Wazir Bauchi is still generating mixed feelings among residents of Bauchi State. And Bauchi Emirate Council announced the removal of the traditional title holder for being disloyal to the state's governor, Bala Muhammad. Trust TV's Adamu Imam filed in this report.
Bello Kirfi, a former minister in the Second Republic, was stripped of the title of Wazirin Bauchi, a senior councillor and a kingmaker in the emirate for involvement in politics. The letter of his removal was signed by the council secretary, Sheikh Mudi Muhammad. Some residents of the state said the development could affect the reputation of the traditional institution that is supposed to be insulated from partisan politics.
It's unfortunate. A politician can just remove a traditional ruler. I think something has to be done. A line has to be drawn. The traditional rulers, the politician, and the rest. So it's just unfortunate. I hope the issue will be settled amicably. I am not happy with the situation, honestly. I'm not happy.
He also said that the traditional institution and the government should not be seen working at cross purposes.
The civil servant, they do not have any party or the government but the government of the day. So anything that goes against the government of the day cannot lead to my own opinion is not welcome. Just keep your idea and stay safe, maybe for the time being.
Others, however, said the governor should not have influenced removal of a respected traditional title holder in the state.
I can't even say I'm not happy, and the people they are not happy. They're supposed to think before they do. Then also they have to find out about what somebody doing. You could just pick somebody just like that.
I'm not happy at all. What happened to him is unfortunate. The best idea for me, those politicians, they should mind themselves.
The development in Bauchi State is ahead of any politician or any stakeholder. Wazirin Bauchi, Bello Kirfi, is the elder of Bauchi State. In the elder of Nigeria in general.
One political aide to the governor, as well as the Commissioner for Cooperatives and Small and Medium Enterprises, Saadatu Bello Kirfi, have resigned their appointments barely 24 hours after the Wazir of Bauchi was removed from office. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Meanwhile, barely 48 hours after removing elder statesman Bello Kirfi, the Emir of Bauchi, Rilwanu Suleiman Adamu, has appointed Muhammad Uba Ahmed Kari as the new Wazirin of Bauchi Emirate Council. A statement signed by the Information Officer of the Emirate Council, Babangida Hassan, made available to newsmen on Thursday in Bauchi revealed that the turbaning ceremony of the new Waziri will be performed by the Emir of Bauchi, and the statement enjoined relatives, friends and well-wishers to join the turbaning ceremony scheduled to hold at the Emir's Palace in Bauchi State. And a total of 18 people were burnt beyond recognition in a head-on collision involving a Hiace bus and a trailer at Nabardo village along the busy Bauchi-Jos Road. And Sector Commandant of the Federal Road Safety Corps FRST in Bauchi State, Yusuf Abdullahi, told Daily Trust that the incident involved a Toyota car and a trailer on Wednesday around 4:40 p.m. at Nabardo. Abdullahi explained that a total number of 21 people were involved in the accident. Abdullahi further disclosed that the mass burial of the victims will be carried out by the Nigerian Police Force's social welfare officers. And with less than 1 month to the deadline issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, for the return of the old 200 naira, 500 naira and 1,000 naira banknotes following the currency redesign policy, scarcity of new naira notes in circulation remains an issue. Some Nigerians are demanding increased awareness on the initiative, especially among market women, rural dwellers, and other categories of Nigerians outside the city centers. The report.
With the unveiling of the 3 redesigned denominations.
Weeks after the launch and commencement of circulation of the new banknotes by the Central Bank of Nigeria, the existing currencies remain legal tender and are circulating together until January 31st, 2023, when the existing currencies shall cease to be legal tender. There are worries over the unavailability of the new banknotes, especially at commercial banks, automated teller machine points, point-of-sale operators, and generally in the hands of members of the public at large.
I think it's the first of the CBN, because the CBN, as the mother of all banks, if they have given it out to other commercial banks, why not? They will make it available to their customers.
Nigerians were a kind of let me say, very eager to have the money, to get them in their hands. But looking at the very poor process of making it available before the hands of people now makes them discouraged.
I've never seen it. I even went to bank today to withdraw money. They just give me the old notes.
With the issue of acceptability hampering the circulation of the new notes, the Apex Bank is urged to intensify awareness to enable end users, especially in the rural areas, come to accept and appreciate the new Naira notes.
People need to be properly educated. The level of awareness is poor.
Some people rejected the new Naira, all because they don't even know about it.
The acceptability now is very poor also, as I heard and I read over the news that many people, especially in the rural areas, are no longer now interested even to have or to collect the money.
So there is more sensitization for the people to accept it, and they have to do something to make sure that it's in circulation. If not, they are going to make life difficult for people, more especially in the rural areas.
The January 31st deadline is seen by many as not being feasible. The Senate had earlier passed a resolution asking the Apex Bank to extend the January 31st deadline to June 30, 2023 in order to ensure sufficiency and acceptability of the new notes among Nigerians across board. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the 2023 budget worth 21.83 trillion naira and the 2022 supplementary appropriation bill into law. Speaking on Tuesday at the signing of the 8th and final annual budget of the administration, the president said the aggregate expenditures of 21.83 trillion naira is an increase of 1.32 trillion naira over the initial executive proposal of 20.51 trillion naira. On the other hand, the president explained that the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act would enable the administration to respond to the havoc caused by the recent nationwide floods on infrastructure and the agriculture sector. Kendi Amadu further in this report.
The amended fiscal framework for 2023 budget as approved by the National Assembly shows additional revenues of 765.79 billion naira and an unfunded deficit of 553.46 billion naira. Lawmakers also introduced new projects into the 2023 budget. As usual, the president is not comfortable with the changes made to the budget, but as he had done in previous years, he is signing the 2023 appropriation bill into law to enable its implementation, especially in the light of imminent transition process to another democratically elected government.
It is clear that National Assembly and the Executive need to capture some of the proposed additional revenue sources in the fiscal framework. This must be rectified.
The National Assembly was adequately represented at the signing of this budget and is promising to focus in the next 5 months on sourcing revenue for government.
The National Assembly, both chambers, will ensure that we get revenues, we find more sources, better sources, stabilize the sources, and of course look into some of the legislations and some of the waivers and concessions granted to see whether or not they deserve to continue to be implemented in the way and manner they were approved.
As for the president's requests for a review of some of its adjustments in the budget, it may not be automatic.
In the budget presentation, or rather budget defense, we have ministries, we have departments, we have agencies that come to talk to us. And we look at the reality on ground and what they have before them and whether or not they can actually execute their mandate as per their ministries and departments.
The president has acknowledged that these are challenging times worldwide and is commending the continuing resilience, understanding and sacrifice of Nigerians in the face of current economic challenges. Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
And with that, we have come to the end of Week in Review for this week. For more reviews, you can connect with us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.